everyone, Alex here, and I'm recording this for a second time because I went over the time limit last time and didn't know about it. Anyway, so we're gonna start talking about character design, and this is one of my favorite things to talk about, one of my favorite things to do. I love designing characters. Pay me? No. So first off, I want to talk about, just the kind of tropes that you want to avoid. So, last voiceover I talked about how I'm totally for Mary Sue's. I think it's a part of learning. But after a while, and you kind of want to spread your wings and learn how to design characters, there are a few tropes from Mary Sue's that you definitely need to avoid. So the first one I want to go over today is heterochromactia. Now, this is when you have two different colored eyes. And I want to kind of point out that this is really overused. I avoid using it as much as I possibly can, because I think it's so overused. You see it a lot. You see brown and green eyes, blue and green eyes, brown and blue eyes, in all the different combinations. It's really, I think heterochromactia is really cool in its sense, but it's also really rare. And for the amount that I see it used in characters is kind of odd. Now, if your character has a reason for it, go you. But if there's really no reason for it, it's just like, I think it looks cute, then I really think it should be left out and put aside. So this kind of leads into like the oddball kind of thing, kind of leads into another thing I want to talk about, which is odd hair color. Now, people have unnatural hair colors. I have friends who have pink hair and blue hair and green hair and all in between, but you kind of have to be careful when you're using it. So I had a character, her name was Tara, and she had orange and green hair in layers. And first of all, that's crazy. No one does that. So when you have a character who has unnatural hair, is it for a reason? Is it their race? Like, are they an elven race? Or are they kind of punk? Or is that just their lifestyle? Like, do they like having unnatural hair? You have to ask yourself these questions, you know? Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta ask these questions. So when you're designing characters, remember that if your character is more of a conservative person, they're not usually gonna have piercings, tattoos. They're not gonna usually have unnatural hair color. You know, they're gonna dress a certain way. So one thing to avoid is having all your characters have unnatural hair. If you see here, none of these characters actually have unnatural hair, which is kind of bizarre to me. I don't really think I have a character with unnatural hair, just because I don't. But that's a thing to be wary of. I'm not saying don't do unnatural hair, I'm just saying be wary of it. Not everyone has unnatural hair color, you know? And another thing is their body type and their skin tone. So when a lot of people start out, I remember this distinctly, was I used to draw a lot of girls with big boobs, pale skin, one eye covered with their hair, and usually kind of like promiscuous clothing. And a lot of artists do that at first. They usually draw, first off, a lot of people, not saying all, but a lot of people start drawing with either the gender that surrounds them in their family or what they're born with. So a lot of people will draw females if they're female, or males if they're male, or non-binaries if they're non-binary, you know? And that's the way that we learn. We draw with examples, and a lot of, even though we don't draw ourselves per se, we draw ourselves kind of indirectly. So a lot of dark-skinned artists will usually draw dark-skinned characters, or a lot of light-skinned artists will draw light-skinned characters. You know what I'm saying? You kind of get my drift. So that's how I was at first. I used to draw a lot of girls, and at the time when I first started drawing, I had darker skin, and throughout the years, my characters have gotten darker, where I've gotten lighter. It's cool, I guess. So you have to be careful, and also if your character is like southern, you have to kind of think about, like, is your character gonna be dark skin, or are they gonna be white? There's not a whole lot of like Hispanics from the south, depending on where you are. Or is your character from Canada, because there's certain ethnicities there that you're not gonna find, like, you know what I'm saying? It's because a lot of Canadians are like French and white. But if you go down to Mexico, there's a lot of Mexican characters, and so you kind of have to look, does your character match their ethnicity? And their body types. So I want to talk about body types. This is a huge thing everywhere, not just in art. It's a huge thing in media and in pop culture, is a body type. So the notorious body types are the hourglass and the Dorito. So the hourglass is usually directed towards women, and it's when they have a large bosom with wide set hips, and usually a booty, usually. And then the Dorito usually relates towards men who have broad shoulders, usually for being muscular. Now, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to have either one of these, but I'm saying it's a bad thing if all your characters only have, if all your women only have hourglass bodies and all your men only have Dorito bodies. because that's unrealistic. I can't remember what poll I saw, but it was like only like 2 to 5% of women in the United States have hourglass bodies. That means that there are women who have pears, they have apples, they have the inverted triangle, they have rectangle bodies, and you have to kind of show light to them. So if you want to have a more diverse and a more realistic kind of cast, I guess, look at the body types. So let's take Lee, for example, the character I'm sketching right now. Lee used to be really overweight. She's 5'2", and she was like 220 when the book was starting out. Oh. Now she's about 160, 170, but it's more muscle than anything when you look at Lee. She's not a whole lot of fat. But if you look at Lee, the character I'm playing right now, and Luca, the character on the far, far right. Luca is 6'6", and he's 115 pounds. Lee is heavier set than him. So if I were to draw Lee and Luca side by side, Lee would be broader, she'd have more muscle mass, and she has a little bit of a double chin, she can't see there because she's wearing something. And then you have Luca, and Luca's really tall, but he's super thin. Luca's actually underweight. That's another thing you want to look at too. You don't want all your characters to be the healthy zone, because a lot of them aren't in the healthy zone. Don't get me wrong, there are a good amount of people are, but even the healthy zone doesn't necessarily count for muscle. So there are a lot of women on the, don't quote me on this, but on the Dr. Oz episode, there are women who were considered overweight. And actually, out of the 5 women, 3 of them were overweight through fat. No, 2 of them were overweight because they were fat, and then 3 of them were because they were muscle. So muscle weighs more than fat, remember that. Back to Luca, Luca's underweight, and so you can see his bones, he's super skinny compared to his boyfriend Dax. And you kind of want to take that in. Not all characters are going to be the hourglass like Zariah. Zariah actually has a reason that she was an hourglass body through her childhood. And that's really dark. I'm not going to get into that right now. But backstories. Let's throw in backstories when designing a character. Not everyone needs a tragic backstory. Not everyone's parents die. Not everyone's abused as a child. Not everyone goes through like street and gangs. And, you know, it's okay to have a character who had a nice life. So I'm going to take Ryan, for example. Now, Ryan didn't have the best life because he was neglected by his dad, but everything else was pretty hot, ready to go. Ryan's attitude was because he distanced himself. But yeah, Ryan is a prince. Like, Ryan's got it good. He got whatever he wanted when he got it. And Luca lived in the United States instead of living in Puerto Rico. Now, I'm going to make it clear, Dax and Luca are not from the same storyline. Everyone else is from the same storyline. So like Abel, the guy on Ophelia's back, Ophelia's the biggest, brawniest one there. Abel had a nice life. Ophelia kind of does, you know? Ophelia's older now, and their older life, Ophelia's non-binary, by the way, Ophelia's adult life was great compared to their young life. You know, not everyone needs to have that sad, dark, abusive background, you know? Given that people are drawn to it because it's like this negative character trope, but you don't need it, you know? So what I'm saying is when you're designing characters, you want to look at all the aspects. You want to look at their background. Do I need this sad, angsty background? Are they a happy character? Where is this character from? Luca's from Puerto Rico. Dax is from Rome. Ophelia is from right around the Spain area. You know, Abel's from Australia. Fornax is from like the South Americas, but she's a pale skin, you know? So you just want to look at where your character's from and apply that to them. Then you have the body types. Not everyone has the same body type. Praise, preach. And hair types. Curly hair is more common in darker skins, whereas straight and blonde hair is more common in light skins, you know? So it's references too. Use references when you're designing ethnicities or characters, you know? References are not cheating. References are your friend. So I guess that's all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next episode, and I hope you guys out. If you guys have any questions about character design, hit me up on Insta or on here. Maybe Tumblr if I use it, but that's all to say. Bye guys.